Hey, this is SoCal Bob, and another logical talk here. That's right, with a logic station. We're going to give you logic. So you're in a group, let's say, some kind of group. Let's say it's the social group down at the bowling alley with the monkeys with those blue hats. All right, so you're there, and they're always updating the rules, because a social group, they got to have rules, they got to have policies and things. All right, so the head of the group, Mr. Jones, calls and says, hey pal, you need to keep in mind these 3 rules. We don't want any red shoes. No more of those red sparkly shoes. I saw a guy today at the Mass, and this guy is so nice. I think his name's Richard. One of the nicest guys ever. He had a beautiful red coat. He had red cufflinks. He had sparkly sequined red shoes. This guy was decked out for dogs. He was ready to go. It was amazing. Love the guy. But they don't want any red shoes. So we got no red shoes, no jumping, and no saving seats. So the director of the social club calls you and gives you these new rules. And of course, all the other rules you've been following, But he gives you these new rules. And then he says, you know what? Why don't we just take a break? We're going to close the club for about a month, and then we're going to reopen. And then you can, obviously, then you're going to be able to put into practice these new rules that have come into play here. There's no red shoes, there's no jumping, and there's no saving seats. All right, well, that's fine. All right, no worries. I can live with that. No big deal, no harm, no foul. Well, then you get a letter in the post office box. I have a box at my house, and the letter comes in, and it's all this official paper with a letterhead, and it says, "Hello, Mr. Jones." And this is about Mr. Jones and his social club. Mr. Jones, it's come to our attention that you're not following the rules. It's like, what? Me? I haven't been over in a month. We've been closed. Yeah, but you have been found guilty of wearing red shoes. What? We haven't been open. And you've been jumping. We've seen you at your house. You're jumping, you're bumping, you're jumping. And you talked to someone about saving seats. What? We haven't had a meeting. So, Mr. Jones, I think it's best for all parties if you just don't come back to our social club. How would that be? Does that sound like a good fair shake? Does that sound like something that a good group would do? If you're going to change the rules, great. You can change the rules of the social club. You can decide that there's too many red shoes. The red shoes represent the Bloods, and the blue represents the Crips, and you don't want to be involved with that. So no red or blue. That sounds dandy. No jumping. Well, old Lady Agnes, she was jumping up and down, and she twisted her ankle. So they decided, hey, you can't have any more jumping up and down. No more jumping, because Agnes twisted her ankle. Okay, that's fine, but you haven't been there. And then, no saving seats. There was a fight in the front row of the hockey game because somebody was, these are my seat. No, these are my seat. I put my lipstick there. No, you didn't. That was my chapstick. And so, if you're going to have an organization, if you're going to have policies, make it fair, make it right. You don't come up with new rules and a member hasn't been there, and all of a sudden, wrong. I'll do one there. Ready? We go. Hey, and then. No, you don't get the horn. You don't get the hook. You don't get the boot. You don't get the letter notarized by Governor Jones. No. This is wrong. How in the world could that be possible? You haven't even been there, and they have convicted you of doing these horrible things, which they never said before. There was never a rule before about wearing red shoes. Everybody's jumping around, and everybody throws their stuff down to save a seat with a change in it. Okay, well, I can go with the chains. I don't have to wear red shoes. I can wear my black sparkly shoes. And I can wear, I can stop jumping. I'll just not jump. I'll just stay seated or whatever. And then, no saving seats. All right, well, I'll just have to tell Grandma she's going to have to just come here, get up a little earlier, come with me. All right, so all that makes sense. That's all dandy. It all makes sense. Yes and amen. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. Now, if a group says, too bad, so sad, no, we don't care, we just don't want you in the group, so we came up with these lame excuses to kick you out. What? I don't even own red shoes. And jumping, I'm 69 years old. I'm not really up for jumping. I know Mrs. Jones was before she broke her ankle. And saving seats, I mean, that's fine. I'll just sit wherever I happen to have a seat. It's going to be okay. I went to the SoFi Stadium years ago, and I bought a seat. It was up in the nosebleed, way up at the top. And then I got there, and there was this big dude with a stick. So I went and talked to him. He said, go to the third floor. So I thought, well, before I go to the third floor, I want to go up and see what I was going to miss at the nosebleed. He said it was kind of a SoFi Stadium. It's really cool. It's an amazing stadium. And so I went ahead and I went to the escalator to ride up to the top. To the very top. And the lady said, oh, no. Take this ticket and head on down. They put me on the floor. So sometimes if you don't get the seat you want, you actually get a better seat. One time I was at the church. I came in late because I'd been delayed in another meeting, and I got there late. I sat kind of on the side, and wham, the pastor called me right up front. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty amazing. How did he even know I was there? And he called me up. It's like, wow, that's amazing. So you never know. Just trust God. Just trust God. I did the art docent night with all the folks in Pasadena a couple weeks ago. And David, our director, our leader, our fearless leader, he does a great job. He said to all of us, listen, don't go get your bus. Wait till we excuse you, go get your bus, which is very hard for me because over the years, we've always been able to just pick our bus kind of ahead of time, have it ready to go, get a little set up, we're ready to roll. But this time I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do exactly what he says. And I still messed up because he wanted us to do this special app, and I didn't quite do the app. It was always something. Gilda Radner said, if it isn't one thing, it's another. True. So, but I got to the bus, turned out to be the nicest bus I ever had, the nicest driver I ever had, and it was just a wonderful experience. So, letting go and letting God is okay. I pray today that whatever you're doing, don't do that. Don't do the red shoes, jumping, reserved seat technique. No. Give people a chance to adjust to these new rules. Give them a shot and, try that. That's my recommendation today, live from Arcadia.